So we're on the train back to London King's Cross, having been defeated by Sunderland 3-0, first game of the season back. It's taken a while to do them because we've been rushing to catch trains and all that, quite confusing.
And we didn't get much beer. Not as nearly enough as I thought we might, but there you go. So
Sunderland 3, West Ham United 0. Let's start off with the team lineup because there was a surprise in there. Every player, I thought, I wasn't sure who'd be in goal, but Potter decided to put Hermansen in. Views on that, Wiggy?
I think that's fair enough. You've got to wait. We can discuss his performance in a little while.
Okay. So you thought it was probably the right thing to pick him in the first place?
Yes, I think when you're spending that much money on a player,
you need to throw him in.
You've got to put him in there.
Okay.
I mean, I feel sorry for Ariola a little, but you buy a new goalkeeper, you buy him for a reason.
Yeah.
And so there you are.
And then our three centre backs, Todibo, Kilman, and Gerd. We kind of knew that would happen. Wing backs, Wan-Bissaka and Diouf. We knew that would happen. Bowen supporting Fulkrug up front. We knew that would happen. James Ward-Prowse was a dead cert, nailed on, and so was Paquetá. And then the surprise.
Yeah, no Freddie Potts.
No Freddie Potts, and instead,
some bloke from Argentina.
Guido Rodriguez. What did you make of that?
I thought it was very, very left field. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
You played Freddie Potts all the way through pre-season,
And he's looked good.
and he's looked okay. He's got used to the players around him,
And then all of a sudden he's dropped.
and then you just go lastminute.com, not playing you.
And then the bench, we're hearing an awful lot about the likes of Alvarez is on his way out. Apparently Ajax are sniffing around if they can find a way of doing some kind of deal. They're sniffing around, and various other players are looking at leaving. Rodriguez is meant to be one player leaving as well.
Yeah, well, if he was in the shop window today, then
He's not going anywhere.
the shutters were down, weren't
Yeah.
they?
And so these players who are meant to be leaving were on either started or on the bench. And yet another player that shone in pre-season, Guilherme, didn't even get on the bench. Wasn't even on the subs bench. So the only option that we had up front was Callum Wilson as an alternative striker to Fulkrug.
I mean, where's Callum Marshall? Why wasn't he around?
Yeah. Callum Marshall, who looked good. Guilherme, who looked good. All our attacking options. Did Graham Potter go out there? He played three at the back. Did he go to Sunderland, the team that I know just got promoted, in order to try and come away with a draw?
No. I'm not sure that Graham Potter knows his best 11.
Well, we better find out soon, because isn't that what pre-season's all about?
And if you were going to sign a reasonably good central midfielder, which is what we're crying out for, you needed to do it before that performance. Because if I was looking at that performance, why would I come to West Ham?
Yeah. And the senior source keeps saying that it's difficult to find players who are better than what we've got. That's a total load of top.
There's an awful lot of players out there that are better than what we've got.
Much better. Yeah.
We're just...
We're treading water, aren't we? We're not even doing that.
We either can't spend the money or we won't.
Or we won't spend the money. Now, there's a couple of things. So, apparently there's this report that's come out, I don't know how true it is, that after the game, the police were called into the away changing room for a small altercation, which apparently no one got arrested for. And apparently it's an Italian reporter that put this on X, on Twitter, said apparently the police were called, no one was arrested, and then he went on to say that on the coach on the way home, Graham Potter wasn't on the coach. I'm finding this a little bit difficult to believe.
I wouldn't be surprised if there were
A few words.
some quite heated discussions
Absolutely. But enough to call the police?
on it. No.
No.
But
agree.
what I would say, if Potter's got anything about him, and he's been having his hands tied the way it appears he is,
He needs to speak out.
he needs to either speak out or walk.
Yeah.
Because as a club, we are. What are you covering
Sorry
my
about
face
that.
up for?
Sorry about that.
Is it that bad? Look.
Idiot. Idiot calling.
But Potter needs to either speak. He really either needs to speak out or walk.
Well,
because
let's
he's not being allowed to do his job.
let's put buying or not buying players to one side. The selection, he's the one that decides who goes out on the pitch. Of course, I don't think there's any interference there. I think there's interference with transfers, without a shadow of a doubt. But in terms of who he
Do you
picks,
not think that Sullivan's putting
no,
pressure on him to pick
no, absolutely
players that
not.
Sullivan's signing?
I think that's bogus. I don't think that's true at all. I think if that was the case, we would have had all 4 players starting, given that Sullivan brought in Callum Wilson. So no, I don't think that's true. But there's certainly influence from Sullivan in terms of who we buy, who we bid for, who we don't bid for. But in terms of team selections, that's totally down to Potter. In terms of formation and strategy, that's certainly down to Potter. And what was glaringly obvious in this game is we lack a midfield.
Well, I said to you quite early in the game that I thought Tadibo was blowing out his arse.
Yeah, you did say that quite early on, yeah.
And I said that after sort of 10 minutes caught when Harry done a little burst onto the sideline. And you and Paul both said to me that no, he's just really.
It's the way he plays.
It's the way he plays. He's just
his
laid
style.
back.
His style, yeah.
But I don't think he's fit enough.
Well, he's had a whole season, he's had a whole pre-season, and if he's still not fit enough, there's a massive concern there.
Yeah, I don't think he's fit enough. I don't think he's being pushed enough.
I think him aside, let's break this down first half. First half, ironically, I did say at the end of the first half, despite the fact that none of us really wanted to see Rodriguez on the pitch, I actually turned around and said he had a comfortable game.
You did.
Yeah. And overall, the first half, we had a couple of chances. Keeper pulled off a couple of saves or whatever. They had their chances too. But if there was any team that was going to look as if they were going to win that game at the end of the first half, it was us.
Well, yes, but were we entertained?
No, we weren't entertaining. We certainly were not.
You know, and if they're wanting to turn games into big, like theatre now, entertain me.
Yeah, no, we were definitely not entertained.
And that game, we went sideways. We went backwards.
No different to last season.
It was worse.
Yeah.
Because I expected more.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought we would have learnt our lessons from last season, and that we would have done something quite different this season, and we haven't. Not only have we not bought players in midfield, but our style of play has not changed either. Now that is, admittedly, that's on Potter.
Yeah.
That's on Potter.
I expected more, but we are not going to get decent midfielders in now, because anyone who's worth their salt is going to look at that club and that performance and go,
I don't fancy it.
What would I be going there for?
Yeah. I mean, what I'm expecting as a reaction to what's happened today, what I'm expecting is West Ham going out and signing 2 players this coming week. 2 midfielders this coming week.
You see Sunderland, they signed
12 players.
12, 13 players.
Yeah,
and
11, they signed their 12th player today.
And they threw 7 of them in there today.
And what were we saying?
You
We
know.
were saying at the beginning of the game, 7 players, they're going to take time to acclimatise, get used to each other. And their first half, they weren't great. And we were saying
but
relegation fodder. But what does that say about us? If they're relegation fodder and we've lost 3-0.
They knew each other an awful lot better than we knew each other as players.
What do you make of not at least having Guilherme on the bench? If not, I don't expect him to start.
It doesn't make any sense at all. Because whenever he's played, however much he's played,
He's put effort in.
he's put the effort in, he's been more direct.
He's got pace.
And he's got pace. We had no pace in that team.
Zero.
I said to a couple of people, if I was Bowie and that game played out how it did today, I'd be walking in that office on Monday. I'd say, "Can I go, please?" I said, because he is too good for that club. Bowen's too good for us.
Yeah.
And we're not getting the players in to support him and look like,
No, it doesn't look like it.
and help him. And why would he waste his career with us?
So what do you make of? I know we're trying to get our heads around. We knew recently we got a bank loan from Barclays Bank, £140 million, and that was when I asked about what's that going to be spent on. I was told, it's cash flow overheads.
It's servicing loans, isn't it?
Well.
And who are we lending money from?
Well, this is the second loan deal that happened the other day with apparently Michael Tabor and this holdings company. I can't remember the name of them. And there's a lot of speculation as to why that loan. Now, I was reading something that another club did the same loan, and they were talking about it being about cash flow, etc. But if that's the case, if it's a loan about cash flow, and we don't have any money to buy players, I'm expecting 2 or 3 players to be signed next week with that loan.
Yeah, but it's not happening, is it?
Well, I don't know. That's the bit I don't know about.
And those 2 or 3 players that you talk about, why would they come to us having seen that?
Yeah.
We needed to have signed them last week, not next week.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because
did anyone stand out for you in this play?
What, today as a player?
Yeah. Anyone at all?
No, I don't think so. Let's think about it. They went down one side and Malik stayed out wide on the other. What a waste of a player.
Well, that's another thing. Cause
they're saying he's got a wand of a left foot,
and he didn't use it.
and they didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, because that's another thing I said. I was talking about Wan-Bissaka, a great player, Wan-Bissaka. I got no criticism of him, but he can't cross the ball. And yet, on the other side of the pitch, we had a player who we've seen the way he manages the ball in Diouf, but every time he got it, he didn't take a player on, and he just cut back.
Yeah, is he getting told to do that? I've often said that to you.
You have often said it.
The players have been told to look back, not forward.
Yeah.
And perhaps they are.
I mean, let's pick out the 2 goals, second half. So, first half, we were in control. We were passing the ball around. If you get points for passing the ball from one central defender to another, we'd be top of the league. But it's not what the game's about. But we were comfortable the first half.
Yeah, but
there was only one team that looked as if it was going to win, and that was us.
Yeah, but we weren't really coming over the halfway line, were we?
We were, but we were not penetrative enough.
And we're coming forward, we're going back.
And then we go back. And then
I'm looking at you and you're going, and I said to you at one point, I said, Christ, you sound like me.
Yeah.
Because I said, don't go back.
Yeah, I said, don't go back.
You said, don't go back. And I said, they're going to.
And then the second half, everything looked fine. And then across that, I think it was against Kilman. Kilman should have got to the ball first. He's poor. He's not the £40 million. We haven't bought well for £40 million. With the greatest of respect to him.
Why would you spend £40 million on a centre half?
That was a Lopetegui vanity project. Yet again. And so, anyway, there's it.
But Lopetegui saw something in him.
Well, he was the only one that did. Because I've not been a fan of Kilman.
There must be a player in there.
Yeah.
You don't get. you know, you don't get Sullivan spending £40 million on a player
if there's not something.
if there's not something there. So
But there was that, and then the way Hermansen reached out for it, people are blaming him. I think he's as much to blame for that goal not reaching out to it as Kilman is for allowing the header to happen.
I think definitely, because I said straight away the keeper should have been doing better with that.
Yeah, you did say that. Yeah, but that header shouldn't have happened.
Admittedly, we're at the opposite end of the ground,
but you could see it. And then the second goal, almost a carbon copy. Ball goes into the box, and before you know it, and again, 3 central defenders getting beat by 2 headers for their goals. Shouldn't be happening, should it?
You know, and compared to our centre halves, they might as well have been in Snow White. You know,
and then
you get beat by shorter blokes.
And then third goal, I got to be honest, I left the stadium before they scored. I heard them cheering as I was walking out.
Did you really do that?
Well, you left even, eh?
Yeah, well, that's
so third goal, didn't see it. 3-0 down. 3-0 down. For what many fans that were sitting around us said, they're not very good, are they? They're relegation fodder. So, given that we've just been beaten 3-0 by a relegation fodder team, what does that make us?
Well, it makes us what I've been saying we are for quite some time now.
Our luck's running out, isn't it?
Well, it's not even about luck. It's about having application, having intent. And we don't have any of it.
And then our answers from the bench. Thomas Souček, I don't mind. At least he puts heart in it. Callum Wilson, who did nothing. And with the greatest of respect to him, Andy Irving, who did nothing. That's our answer.
What can Callum Wilson do?
He actually, fair play to him. He actually got on the end of a couple of balls. You know, it was just unlucky. That goalie pulled off a couple of saves, but we were never in. Once it went 2-0, we were never coming back.
No. What can Callum Wilson do with the service that he's getting?
Yeah, the service.
In the same way, the big German. I'm not refusing to use the middle bit of that, but the big German. What can he do? Because he's got no service, and he's dropping back. And then to look for the ball, and if he's dropping back to look for the ball, who's in front of him, and who's he going to give the ball to when he gets it?
Agreed. Okay, so we've only got
every time we get a corner, every time they get a corner, we put everyone back.
No one's staying up front.
And there's no outlet. Yeah. So when we clear it, it's only coming back one way.
Again, yeah.
And we do it constantly, every time. And I'm saying, just leave somebody up there.
Give us an option.
Leave Bowen up the top, because Bowen's no good at defending anyway.
Yeah, give us an option, absolutely.
You know.
All right, so what do we do? It's only Chelsea next Friday, so an easy one really.
It's not really a problem for us, is it?
Of course,
Chelsea.
Be right.
You know, 8 o'clock on a Friday night.
We'll be smashing them.
I think I'm finishing work at about 2:30.
So you're going to get pissed well before then.
I might go and have some tapas somewhere.
What do we do? What does he do? Does he change players? Does he change formation? Does he change tactics, or does he do all three?
He's got to do something. He's got to somehow get us going forward.
Yeah.
You know,
we were slow, weren't we?
We're slow.
And Bowen even said it like in a post-match interview that we were slower. We were slower in the second half. We were slower than we were in the first half.
Put the youngsters in.
Put the youngsters in. And they couldn't do much worse, could they?
No, they couldn't. I think if Potter trusted the youngsters, he'd have put them in today, because perhaps playing them against Chelsea is a little unfair.
Yeah.
You know,
today would have been the day to do it. Yeah, I agree.
Today, again, you know, people say it's only Sunderland.
Well, it's only Sunderland. They just beat us 3-0.
Yeah, but it's a more balanced game because they're closer to our level than certainly Chelsea are. So it would have been a fair game to get the youngsters in, get them up to speed, get them feeling what Premiership football's really all about, and then perhaps by Chelsea they'd have been a little more prepared.
Yeah, agreed.
And now we're saying throw Freddie Potts in against Chelsea.
That would be really unfair. I want to see it play,
Casado,
but it would be really unfair. All right. Any last words?
Well, really, help.
Desperately poor game. Desperately poor
game.
Tactics. Desperately poor formation. You know, and it took until we went 2-0 down before we changed formation. We were still playing through five at the back.
Yeah. And just as an aside, we were coming back from Sunderland into Newcastle, and we sat talking to the Mansfield Hammers.
The Mansfield Hammers, shout out to the Mansfield Hammers.
And lovely blokes, all of them. And hopefully we'll bump into you in Nottingham and have a couple of pints.
Well, you will, I'll be away.
Sadly, you will. But it's good to talk to you guys, and keep tuning in.
Thank you all. Obviously, a little bit depressing, a little bit demoralising. When I find out any more, if there's any truth in this police matter, and if there's any truth in Potter having not gotten on, I don't believe that for a second. But let's find out.
Can you give Aruba Hammers a shout as well?
Give Aruba Hammers a shout out. Mark messaged me during the game. Mr. DeForges, I hope you're well. So,
Samantha, lovely to see you a couple of weeks ago.
So guys, only Chelsea on Friday, so we'll be fine.